This is the moment of truth. Whether this hat fits or not. Come along with me on this journey. So, here we go. Hair down. Wet hair, excuse me. See, I don't want... Oh, maybe... Okay, we're going to have antenna. Ooh, this is going to be cozy. Do you know, I like a tight hat. So I think we're going to be good with antenna. Let's just cut off the top of my head. I do like a hat that stays on your head. That's always a plus. But is it too stretchy? What do you guys think? I think I'm okay. I think I'm going to be okay. Okay. Let's start the podcast. Now that that's going to be a positive answer. Hello and welcome to the Babbles Travelling Yarns podcast with me, Grace. Yay! You can find me on Instagram as Vanna Willamille. You can also find my new shop, which I'm updating all of my yarn dyeing photos onto there, and that is Babbles Yarns at Babbles Yarns. I have 3 Instagram accounts now. It's getting a bit out of hand, but you know, they're all for different separate things, so it's fine. And I've got my virtual knit night channel as well for people who are interested in regular updates of the virtual knit night. Now, sometimes I do post them onto my main channel because that's where most of my followers are, but just for, I don't know, for my own brain's sake, I find it useful to have them separate. You know, the shop, the VKNs, and then my main channel, which is where I talk about everything, everything and anything. Yeah, so if you're interested in those, you can follow those. Especially with the new algorithm, the way Instagram is laid out, it can be tricky to find everything. So I just find it easier if you want to get notified specifically of the VKNs or shop updates. That you can select notifications on those and not everything that I post about, because most of it is just ridiculous. So I totally understand. Now, where else can you find me? Well, I just set up a new website, and that is www.babblestravelingyarns.com. And the first page of that website is all about my retreat, my knitting retreat, which I totally didn't talk about at all the last podcast. So I'm going to talk about it a bit now if people are interested. So unfortunately it is all filled up. It all sold out within like 4 minutes. I was all done on Instagram, which was amazing, and I'm so delighted that people want to come and spend some time knitting with me in the beautiful Glen of Arlo in County Tipperary, which is where my family are from. It's a very quiet, kind of unknown region of Ireland. It's a lot of hill walking, beautiful scenery, and quiet country Ireland, which is really, really lovely. And I think more people need to know about it, but not too many, because then it would ruin it. So this retreat is going to be extremely small. It's only 10 people. There's only 10 spaces. I am hoping to open the day up on Saturday to day visitors, so you can come down and join us and knit away. We're going to have a yarn retreat, like a yarn market, little yarn market, very small, like myself, and I've got 3, possibly 4 other indie dyers which are coming down. I have maybe 2 or 3 pattern designers who are hopefully we might try and organize to send over some printed paper patterns so you can get the yarn and the pattern on the same day. And I also might be having someone in for a talk about Irish wool. I'm really hoping for that. If not at the retreat, then hopefully an interview for the podcast. So interesting. And I'm really excited about that. So really exciting things happening in the Babbles lands. Yeah, so if you are around Ireland on the 20th to 22nd of April 2018, pop down to, you might be very far away, but if you are around Ireland, if you live in Ireland, if you're from like Dublin or anything like that, you can get a train down to Limerick Junction, and it's only a taxi ride away, maybe €10 taxi ride away from Limerick Junction station. So it is super accessible for people who don't have a car, say people who live in Dublin or Belfast. And then there is also, you can drive. So yeah, you can drive. It's about an hour from Limerick, an hour from Cork. Waterford probably about an hour and a half-ish. Galway is probably about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. So if you're interested at all in coming down, spending the day with me and my friends and people who have come to the retreat, please do think about it and pop over to the website. So on the website as well, it's going to be my hub for pretty much everything now. I'm a grown-up. I have decided I need to have a hub. I need to have one link to send everybody so they all know where things are and what things are happening. So it's www.babblestravelingyarns.com, and there you can find the link to the VKN room, to the virtual knit night room. You can find my podcast, you can find my shop, my Patreon page if you want to as well. Now in regards to Patreon, I find it very useful for updating people on when the virtual knit nights are live. I have now like completely covered my costs for the room, for the virtual knit night room. But I really appreciate every single person who has donated some money towards the podcast, and I hope that you are liking what is being organised, even though it's kind of organising itself at this stage. It's amazing. We have a Facebook group for the virtual knit nights. We have, which is Babbles Virtual Knit Nights on Facebook. And gosh, there's a lot of admin this morning. Anyway, I've got a lot of things going on, don't I? Oh, I love it. So, shall we get on to the knitting? I think I might have covered everything. Oh my gosh, how great is the Instagram living? And now you can save the Instagram live to your stories. It's so great. I'm loving that. So, let me start with some very special, a very special thing that I have finished. I have an FO, yo. 2 FOs, yos. And this FO is a complete ode to progress keepers. What would we do without progress keepers? I feel like if I don't know how much progress I've made, I don't care. I think I'm a goal-oriented person. So I was putting progress keepers on after every 10 rows. That's kind of like, if it was too far down the sock, I wouldn't see it. And in my head, I would imagine, I've not done anything. This is useless. This is pointless. Just put it down. So, but if I could see it 5 rows below or something, I'm like, oh my God, look how much I've done. Completely psychological. Absolutely amazing. This is the reason that I got these socks done. Yes, they're socks. I know, I'm so mysterious. And guess what? I've got sock blockers. Woo! Check these bad boys out. So these are the Fergus socks by Anna Freyberg, or Yarnesty on Etsy and Instagram. The yarn, oh, look at this beautiful purple, like magenta plummy purple. And then this absolutely gorgeous slightly variegated. Oh, and this slip stitch pattern has totally brought out the colours of this variegated yarn. These are just my favourite pair of socks ever. So the pattern was so easy to follow. Very, very good. The gusset, you can't really see it because it's so dark, but the gusset is a very interesting construction, and I have done these once before on another pair of Anna's socks. Very, very interesting heel. I kind of wish I had done a slip stitch heel because I feel like these are a little bit, you probably can't see, but they're a little bit baggy. But that's just on the sock blocker, not on my foot, so I suppose it doesn't really matter. I've got a little hole there because I haven't woven in the ends yet. I literally just finished this just before the podcast. Okay, now let me just So this sock set was a sock set by Ellie and Ada. It was the Shadow sock set. It was 50 grams of this main colour and 20 grams of this colour. I used every single bit. This is the last part of yarn. Toe-up socks, yo! Toe-up socks! I used all the yarn. I have 0 leftovers. There's something about like using everything that makes me feel wonderful. I don't know. It's just, it feels just so good to have used every single part of the yarn. The money I spent on the yarn was well used, and I'm going to use every single part of it. Also, just feeling these are so glorious. So aren't these sock blockers lovely? I bought them in the Constant Knitter in Dublin, and they're just wooden. They're very, very thin wooden plywood. They're kind of raw, which I'm delighted about because I am doodling mine. I'm illustrating mine. I wonder, is this the one I started or not? Because they are raw, they're a little bit tricky to get socks off. They need to be, there's no drawing on that one yet. They need to be varnished. So we're hoping, me and Instagram are hoping that the varnish will not bleed. Yes. So this is the little doodles that I've been doing. I do love Zentangles and I do love drawing, and I was an artist once upon a time. So I think they're really cute. So I love them. So hopefully the varnish, I'm going to put a first layer of varnish over and then get a very fine sandpaper and just sand it down after the first varnish and then varnish again. Someone on Instagram told me that's a good idea, because when you varnish it, you kind of pick up all of the, it kind of brings up the little bits of wood, and I'm like, fair enough, totally cool. I know nothing, but I'm willing to try. So 2 little socks, no leftovers, boom boom, fabulous. No yarn chicken either. Well, kind of yarn chicken. I had to go back a little bit because I was just pushing my luck. Also, okay, so what did I do? I did a 1x1 twisted rib. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that. It's very beautiful, like deep magenta plum. 1x1 twisted rib, which is just like the squishiest thing ever. But you start at the toe. Sorry, yeah, you start at the toe. You go all the way up, flat on the bottom and the pattern on the front. Heel flap and gusset. Heels. Now, Laura's going to be very annoyed at me, Laura the Woolly Wolverine, because I was at this point on both socks when up in Dublin, when we went up to Dublin, and she was like, oh no, carry the pattern around the back. You're supposed to carry the around. Turns out 2 at a time, you can't really bring it round the back. I mean, I could have fluffed up the inner corner because these were being knit like this, like flat. They were being knit flat. I couldn't bring the pattern around because they were too tight. I couldn't cross the cape. I couldn't cross this stitch across to bring it round the back. So I just left it flat at the back. I'm totally fine with that. I kind of was going that direction anyway because girls, I'm a lazy. So, but all I have to do is weave in the ends on that and then I am done. Delighted, delighted, delighted. So I didn't split the balls into perfectly equally because, you know, nobody has time to measure out meters. But what I did was when I would finish off one little ball, I'd have a little bit left on the other. And what I'd do is I'd take the end of that small ball and join it into the sock that I just finished. And then by the end, I had the 2 socks connected with one little loop, and then I just cut it and tucked it into the sock. So pair of socks. I don't know how many that is this year. I don't know. Definitely not 12. Ha ha ha. Definitely. I'm not even trying to do box of socks. I don't know. There's no point. There's no point talking about that. So today I'm drinking out of this amazing cup that I got in like my local store. I love this Zentangle pattern. It's really, really satisfying to draw. So I just loved it on the cup. I love it. So I'm drinking some loose leaf tea that was given to me by Cindy from Moon and Shop. She sent me a package of beautiful things and the tea was part of it. So this is black tea and Cointreau, I think. It's delicious. Oh, I still have her little package of soap made by her friend, and I kind of want to crochet a little soap holder and have it in the bath, and so it's hanging off the shower loop. I think that would be really nice. It smells incredible. I need nice smelling things in the bathroom. I'm having trouble decorating the bathroom. Everything is so wet all the time. I don't know. Anyway. Now, so my whip, my most recent whip that I have been working on, I promise I have, it looks like I haven't, which is why I've started putting in progress keepers, because I've learnt my lesson with those socks. This is my Beauty and the Beast sweater. Whip it from the top down, Beauty and the Beast sweater, and I'm on the sleeves that will never, ever, 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 ever end. Look at this. This is where I was the last time. Honestly, I swear to God, this is a time suck. I think time like extends, or I don't know. This is like the opposite of a time machine. It's very disappointing. This is how much I've done. But I swear I've been picking it up every night. Maybe I'm lying and I'm actually doing those socks instead. I don't even know anymore. This is why this is questioning me so much. And now my chair is doing this thing where it kind of just dunks down a little bit every so often. But anyway, no. So I just really want this to be done, but I just need to sit down and do it. Sit down and do it, Grace. Why aren't you doing it now? I'll tell you why, because I'm podcasting. Stop asking me hard questions. Okay, now. So because it wasn't super relaxing, those, and my socks were a little bit complex and dark yarn as well, I decided just to make my nighttime ritual a bit more relaxing, a little bit more relaxing. So I brought up some yarn to knit a hat. Now, I've been going on about knitting hats for last one whole podcast ago. So I decided I was finally going to do it. I was going to start this amazing skein of yarn by AlexCreates. Now, I bought this ombre yarn in Wollyn in Brooklyn in New York. And because of the week that's in it, Rhinebeck week, I was feeling super FOMO-y, and I decided I'm going to cast on this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful cake. Now it's like a roving, a chunky roving ombre cake. So squishy. So I have been knitting a made-up hat, because I looked it up on Ravelry, just looking for like stitch sizes and how much should I cast on and stuff, because I'm always having trouble with hats. I just never know, they're either too big or too small, or I don't know, I can't figure it out. So I looked up Alex's yarn on Ravelry and I came up with, I think I was sent to a kind of a hat recipe, like knit your own hat to fit your own head or something thing. And yeah, so I cast on 84 stitches. I think it was supposed to be 88, but I long tail cast on failed. And yeah, so this is the hat. I've just popped it onto the sock needles that the Fergus socks were on 10 seconds ago, because I'm so fast. I'm going to tuck this bad boy in. Get in there. And this is the hat so far. So it is nice and cozy. It is not too loose. I hate a loose hat. There's nothing worse. And yeah, so I think this is going to fit me. I'm making up the pattern as I go. I just did a 2x2 rib and then I decided to do cables because actually I was watching Woolly Wolverine. I was watching her podcast and she just made a gorgeous cabley hat. I don't even know what pattern, but yeah, I just decided to do my pattern because I knew the number of stitches to cast on. So I was like, well, I'll just do a little plait cable because they're my favorite. So it's so cute. It's going to be super warm. So it's going to start speckle fading into the crown, and then the rest of the yarn I'm going to make into a big pom-pom. Pom-pom! So yeah, it's beautiful. This yarn is available from Wollyn, and I'm not sure if anywhere else because that's where I got it. So if you're in New York, Laura, if you're in New York and you go to Wollyn, get some of this and we can be twinsies. So I posted this on Instagram, and Alex actually has started doing some pottery, and I posted it in this bowl, and he was like, send me more pictures of this bowl. And I'd realized I'd forgotten to talk about this completely. So I got this yarn bowl at Atlantic Knitscape, and it is actually hand built. You can see on the bottom here, it's hand built by I think it's people from Enable Ireland. They have a pottery class, and they actually made these. So Enable Ireland is a charity which runs a lot of support for children and adults with disabilities, mental disabilities and physical disabilities, I believe. It's just Enable Everyone, so Enable Ireland. And yeah, so I bought this incredible pot. Look at this like grey stroke green glaze. Oh, there's something just absolutely beautiful about it. So yes, very, 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 very lovely. Very, 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 very lovely. I think it's like the base is hand built and then pulled up, and then it's coiled around the edge. That's what it looks like, doesn't it? Beautiful. I don't know, it was available at Atlantic Knitscape. I don't know where I don't know where you can get these, but maybe if anybody watches the podcast and does know, let me know, and then I'll hand it on, because they're just stunning. I'm just mesmerized by this glaze. Isn't pottery just amazing? Love it. Another rabbit hole, which a lot of knitters seem to be going down. So, you know, there's Karen from Simply Status. She does a lot of pottery nowadays. And Alex is doing it as well. I love it. And of course, Remembrance's pottery, Natalie. Love pottery. Love it. Maybe because we drink so much tea and need yarn bowls every day of the week. So, yes, they're kind of, are they all the things I'm knitting at the moment? Okay, so I'm going to talk about something which a lot of people have been getting on to me about. I know. Now, this has been in the naughty pile for a long, long time. And I think, so this is my double knit hat of the world. Do you remember this? It's huge. It's so big. It's far, far too big. Just way too big. I think I'm going to frog it and start again at the right size. I think that's the only way to do it, because the yarn is so beautiful. It's too beautiful just to sit on a tea cozy, and my teapot is even just like, it's smaller than my face. So that doesn't make any sense. So I'm gonna, and it's not really designed to be a slouchy hat. It's designed to be a lovely chunky beanie, you know. I feel it needs to be frogged. The time has come, and such beautiful autumnal colours, isn't it? There's little Africa coming up. There's Australia. Isn't he so nice? It just deserves to be knit right. So instead, I can't even remember what pattern I was on. Oh, great. Oh, I have it here. Okay, so I was knitting the chart A, whichever that is. So hopefully I'll be able to go down a size. Or I might use, I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, I'm not going to finish it. It's going to be frogged. That's okay, because I'll start again and it will be what it properly needs to be, which is something that fits me. What else? What's in here, Grace? What's in here? Oh my gosh. this is why I need something. I've not done a single thing on my Mystery Voyager KAL. I'm going to do that. Am I? No, I need to do the sleeves. Come on, Grace, you need to do the sleeves. But I also love this. How annoying is it at Outlander? It takes 2 weeks for some random reason, aka building up the tension. I hate you, whatever program you are, Stars or HBO or whatever. So annoying. Anyway, I have it in Mina Creations. Halloween cat bag. Meow. So yeah, that's also something I will be doing. Yeah, so I started spinning up some. Yeah, let's talk about spinning now. So I've pulled apart a braid into 3 different colours. So I have them in these little sandwich bags just to keep them separate. But it starts off with this beautiful teal. Then it goes into this kind of darker teal navy, and then it's a solid navy. You probably can't see through the plastic, but that's what it looks like. So when it spins up, I've spun 1/2 of the braid. I split the fibre by weight, and I'm spinning it by colour, so I'm getting a big gradient. This is going to be a 2-ply. 2-ply. So pretty. Ooh. So this is fibre by Irish Fairy Tale Yarns, and I have got a lot more braids recently, so I need to get going on this bad boy. But I need more bobbins. So girl's got to get some more bobbins before she can do that. Or finish the other things that she has on the bobbins. A likely story. So I've finished my Outlander socks. I am playing with my Outlander shawl, and I also want to talk about another prize that's been donated for the Outlander KAL. In case you don't know, Outlander is on its season 3, and I'm hosting a KAL for the Outlander KAL, and the hashtag is #S3 for season 3 Outlander KAL. And it started on the 10th of September, which is when the first episode of season 3 came out. And then it's going to finish on the 10th of December, which I've decided is a good time to finish because it's 3 months. So if you can convince me that it's related to Outlander, it can totally go into the FO thread. The FO thread is now live. It was live a couple of weeks ago because someone was like, where's the FO thread? And I was like, you're all so fast. It's going really, really well. There's some beautiful shawls on there. There's some beautiful socks and just beautiful things going up. So have a little look. And if you can possibly imagine that it's something might go into the Outlander KAL, do. And double dipping is allowed. Whips are allowed. Just check it all in. It's fine. So what I want to do as well is, tell you about another prize that's been donated. And I meant to tell you last week and the week before, but I just forgot because I didn't write it down. So Fatima of Knit Knacker Wellness has also decided to donate some of her essential oils. So Claire was a healer, and her whole thing was she was a nurse in the Second World War, and she came back from the Second World War to mend her relationship with her husband. They went up to Scotland, and stuff got a bit messed up with, timelines, time travel, all that. You know how it goes. So Fatima is a doctor, but she is also working with essential oils and natural wellness techniques. So she has donated some oils to the winner of to one of the winners of the KAL, which will be selected at random on the 10th of December. So I'm really excited. Oh, I might be in Paris on the 10th of December. How interesting. So thank you so much, Fatima. So in case you are wondering, I have your card and everything. Look at me, I'm so professional. So professional. Can't even say professional. Oh, all the cards are gone. Look at this. Cute. So I'm currently wearing this because I'm feeling all flighty. This is Knit Knacker Wellness in her Focus blend. Wonder will the camera focus on the focus? Haha, it did! Oh, that's so great! It smells amazing too, which helps. So this is Knit Knacker Wellness. And she has donated, I believe, 1 or 2 of her essential oils. Dr. Fatima Mehendi. Is that how you pronounce it? Mamdani. I'm so sorry. Why did I put a H in there? Mamdani. What a fool. What a fool. And these are her details down here. Amazing. Whoop! Sorry, that was scary for me and you. So now let's pop that back onto my important shelf of important things. Oh my gosh, I think I've covered everything. That's quite short. It's quite a short thing. What else was I going to say? Oh my goodness. So we have a beautiful pattern to give away today from Mina Philipps, Mina Philipps Designs. She is the knitting expat on YouTube and on Ravelry. So the colour blender wrap is actually a couple of patterns in one. It can either be a large wrap, a square wrap, or a slanted wrap, or a wrap with like certain points on it to kind of give it a little bit more pizzazz. And it's also a scarf. You can also do it in a long kind of thin scarf technique, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It's blending. It blends all types of different colours together, and it is beautiful. As usual, the pattern is written wonderfully. I've had a look at it. I haven't got anything to cast on at the moment. Well, do I? Of course I do. You can put anything into a blend. That's why it's so great. Oh my gosh, I'm seeing so many things. Too many things to knit. Too many things to knit. So we are delighted to be giving away one of those. So I'm going to open up a thread in the Ravelry group, and I want you to answer me, what are you grateful for right now, this moment? Just one thing, one little thing, anything. A little bit of gratitude. Let's do a little bit of gratitude. So I've been trying to work a little bit on gratitude recently. This is going into a bit of real talk now. Let's go into a little bit of babbles, little indie babbles, which will probably go on forever. I don't know. I was going to say at the start, I was like, this will probably be a short podcast, and then I'm like, no, because they rarely are. They rarely are. So I won't say it. And now I've said it, but it's probably not going to be anyway. It feels like it is because I've talked about all the knitting. Anyway, so it occurred to me recently that I have not experienced a winter in about 2 years. So I left, I suppose I did experience a winter in 2015, but I left at Christmas and I went straight into summer in Perth. So I missed out the 3 months of dreary in January, February, March. And then I was traveling around and I spent my winter in Sydney, which was in June, July, August. I spent winter there, but it wasn't really winter. I mean, it was cold, but it was still bright. It was still lots of sunshine. No matter what anyone says, it was only about 5 weeks of winter, and then that was it. And then it came back into beautiful summer, and then I came back in March of 2017 to Ireland, and by then the days were lightening up, the clocks went forward, so we got longer days and we got summer again. So I've been experiencing I've been chasing bright summer good weather for a long time. So this kind of autumn is the first time that I've experienced okay, it's autumn. I'm not running away from it. I'm seeing it coming. You know, I can see the long, wet, dark days coming, and it's affecting my mood. Surprisingly, I think that's what's affecting my mood. So yeah, a bit of seasonally affected disorder happening in here, which is why I am slowly, probably failing dramatically, but slowly working on a little bit of self-care and a little bit of gratitude. Now, for me, gratitude is just writing down some good things that happen whenever I think about it. And it started actually with Patricia of the Knitography vlog. So Patricia who's P4 Chen on Instagram, has this little thing called a knitting bag book. And what she does is, before she sits down to knit, she picks out the book and she just writes down a couple of things. She just journals a little bit. And I've taken to just writing down a couple of just a couple of positive things, and trying not to focus on negative things. Because I have been also doing something called the morning pages whenever I can. So the morning pages is an artist, is part of the Artist's Way, and recently they've been getting very negative, and I don't like to focus on the negative too much. Well, I do, because, you know, obviously I wouldn't be writing it. But yeah, I'm trying to turn it around a little bit and trying to think positively. I know it can be really hard when all you can think of is just negative things. So I'm trying to work on that. And yeah, it's amazing how much light, rain, and the season, and the concept of it approaching is just a little bit like intense, I think. And I wouldn't have, I'm, you know, I think I grew up here, I'm used to it, I was used to it, and I'm just out of kilter a little bit because I've traveled so much and I've kind of been chasing the sun. So I've got a lot of super things coming up in the next year, actually. Some amazing things happening. Like, I'm going the first 2 weeks in December, we're hoping to go to England and Paris. And then in April, I've got the retreat. In March, I'm going to Edinburgh Yarn Festival. I've booked my tickets, so that's super exciting. In May, I've got Wollyn Festival in Dublin. And then immediately after that, I'm going to Rhodes, to Greece, for the Beardy Shields knitting retreat. You know, there's so much exciting stuff happening, and I'm hoping to get to Rhodes as well, or Yarn Folk as well. The dates have kind of been sneakily announced early August, so, you know, if anyone's thinking of doing something like that, I might be there. Hopefully the body plays ball this time, doesn't have a hissy fit. So I've got so much to look forward to, but it's still in my brain. I just feel just a bit down, and that's part of the season. I think it's part of being a human being also. So, but yeah, so I hope if anybody else is feeling like this, let me know, because I don't want to be on my own. It's not a cry for help. This is just I just acknowledging what's happening in my brain. And yeah, I think, I don't know, maybe there's a little bit of FOMO as well, because Rhinebeck is happening this weekend, and all the people, everyone's meeting up with everybody, and it's just wonderful. I'm really happy for everyone to, it's just so lovely to see all their faces, like actually in real life next to another person's face. Isn't that awesome? That is so nice. I love it, but I just wish I was there. You can't be everywhere, and that's okay. I'm going to Edinburgh Yarn Festival. I'm going to all these other things. I am so lucky. I was talking to my friend Linda on a VKN this morning, and she's in Australia, and she was like, oh my god, you're so much closer to me. I was like, fair enough. Skate Sisters had a really beautiful stall at the Fibre Fest in Singleton in New South Wales. I was watching them. I was there last year, and I was just like, I've got FOMO for down there. You know, we've all got FOMO for everywhere else, and then we don't really appreciate where we are, I think. So, which is why I'm going to try and work on my gratitude, because if you realize what you've got, where you are, then that makes you feel a little bit better, I think. Also, I missed my yoga this week because of bloody Ophelia, the Hurricane Ophelia. So I think that may be stressful as well. I miss my yoga nidra, and I know people say, oh, you should do it at home. I'm not good to do anything at home when I don't have someone telling me what to do and I'm not paid for it. I just don't do that stuff. I have zero willpower to do anything, which is why I generally fail at consistency, just in general, like self-care stuff, which is why I'm going to be trying to work a little bit on that. So keep me honest. Ask me about it. How's that going? Oh, great. Yeah, because I feel bad about like keeping a habit. I'm not very good at making habits and keeping them. So that's my little thing. If anyone does want to join me on a little bit of gratitude, well, you can come into the Ravelry thread and win a chance of winning a beautiful pattern by Mina Philipps. Or we could also just maybe set up a little gratitude thread in there, just to pop in and just say, I'm feeling really good about this today, and then everyone would be like, yay, that's awesome. I think that would be nice, a little positivity thread, because God knows we need it, don't we? It's just a little bit, that's my mood. So yeah, I think once I have a couple of sweaters that I am dreaming of starting, and I feel like I can't start them until I start this, or until I finish this, you know what I mean? This is a totally like impromptu, heartfelt conversation. I did not plan on that at all. So, but you have it now. You do what you want with it. So I am going to go, and what do I've got to do today? I've got a lot to do today. I've got a friend coming over. I need to go and buy gluten-free food. Oh my gosh, I might be talking to Romy Hill later on, so I need to do some research. Have you seen Romy Hill? How amazing is she? Amazing. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit down, knit, and watch lots of podcasts about Romy Hill in preparation for our little chat this afternoon. Yay! So I hope you enjoyed the little moments that you had with me. It was quite a short podcast. It is actually quite a short podcast. I think people should keep that to the end of an actual short podcast so they can tell if it's an actually short podcast or not. Okay. Bye.